Hey guys, you're watching Boondocking with Dennis. I was trying to think what I could show you this afternoon, and it was just so pretty right where I was at. Today we're going to touch on prostitution and prostitutes. When I was driving for Uber, I picked up 4 prostitutes come to mind that I had, and 3 of them I had more than one ride with in the local area. You know what? Did I just add another one? Yeah, I'm going to say 5. And I've probably talked a little bit about each one. So if the subject of prostitution offends you, there's nothing graphic in this video. No, nothing sexual at all. They were 5 women who I picked up for rides that let me know they were prostitutes. I did want to mention a lot of you people were left very kind comments about me being concerned about Luciano. I've seen him fall over 3 times, and the worst one was yesterday. He's totally fine. This morning, just now, 2 minutes ago, I dropped him off Guerrera tortillas. They had to be Guerrera. Get it straight, guys. Sody Pop, which is the Walmart Sam's Club generic cola, and a 10-pound bag of ice. He doesn't ask for the ice often, but I've just been bringing it to him every day. The heat index yesterday I saw was 106, and it may have gone up even hotter than that. We're at Rockport Harbor, but a lot of you suggested I should get Luciano to a doctor. I can't get him to go take a shower. He's a grown ass man. He's going to do what he wants to do. That's why he chose this life. I can suggest to him. I can't get him to drink water. And yeah, we all got our own things going on where, yeah, and I know people mean well. Most of you mean well. Some of you are just assholes. Got to get your little digs in. But fortunately, 99% of the community is just awesome people. There's that etching. I am fascinated by that etching of the marlin. But he's going to do what he wants to do, and right now what he wants to do is take his brisket fat and cook some onions and garlic and the brisket scraps and put them on a tortilla and have several of those throughout the day with a big cup of ice and some soda. And that's probably healthier than I'm going to eat today. I got an apple. I'm looking forward to it. I got an apple yesterday. And I can't believe apples are like 80 cents each now. I mean, I guess that's not bad, but I just remember apples being really inexpensive. I had an apple and a banana yesterday. Well, you shouldn't eat bananas and you shouldn't eat apples because I'm going to be okay. And several of you people said I shouldn't be buying him soda. It's his money. I'm just delivering it. Or it's money people gave him and he's spending, gives to me to get him stuff. Or it's money you guys have sent and said this is for Luciano. Or there's people out here using their money to buy cigarettes, drugs, booze. If that guy wants to buy some generic soda, I don't think it's that bad. He's kind to people. He's kind to the animals. Feeds the cats, feeds the dogs, and the birds. And we even got him. He's going to feed the birds ramen, but I also got him some healthy bird food with a lot of sunflower seeds. So that's a good thing. I'm sorry, guys. I just love this rusty boat. There's work going on there. It's in really good shape, too. Good morning. It's hot to be out walking already. I saw an old guy on a scooter. He waved hi. Who did I see last night? Oh, Catherine and Tim, they've stopped a bunch of times over the years. They stopped and talked for a while. Good to see you, Catherine and Tim. And then I believe it was Johnny and Noreen stopped, said they had looked for me and watched my videos before they moved here. And Johnny asked me what I did all day. Do I just stare at the water? Yep. That's what I do all day. Fortunately, I have magical elves that make these videos and edit them and post them up. And I don't help any unfortunate people. I don't have to answer comments. I don't read. I don't go in the water. I don't take care of my truck. I just stare at the water, which sounds like a pretty good way to spend the day. So back to the hookers. My favorite hooker, my favorite prostitute, I picked her up one night at, I don't want to say where she works. There's a few big strip clubs in Corpus Christi. I picked her up there, and I drove her all the way to Rockport from Corpus, which is a nice ride, nice girl. It was on a gentleman's, and this is common with prostitutes. Someone will use their Uber or Lyft account to get them to their wherever, hotel, home. And I picked her up several times at the club, Aransas Pass, and right here in Rockport. And very, very beautiful girl, probably the most beautiful of the batch, and just like fun. Not, didn't have that weathered drug look. And she told me the second time she was a entertainer and she just got off a boat, and I knew exactly what she was. And then the third time she told me. But I remember twice I picked her up, once in Aransas Pass and once in Rockport, where she came out of a house and she was like, "Oh, you, I know you." And twice she asked me, "Where are we?" And I'm like, what do you mean, where are we? Where are we? I don't remember coming here. And I'm like, oh, poor girl. But yeah, and I do remember her dancing name. Wow, I just thought of another one because she's a dancer. I might have to make this a series about prostitutes. But that girl was young, 23, 24, beautiful, and never any trouble. I picked up a real pretty one once in Portland and took her to her next client in Corpus Christi. Just a beautiful girl, not much of a conversation. Again, on another guy's account, so she had a lot of stops. And I never minded stopping anywhere as long as it was, hey, go in a reasonable amount of time, 5 minutes, and come out. So she was pretty and young, maybe mid-20s. Let me see. I'm going to do the other one next. The one lived in Portland at several different locations. A lesbian. She had a girlfriend. Her girlfriend was such a nice person. And she worked as a dancer. And I know she was also a prostitute. So I picked her up a bunch of times. The only time I ever had any trouble with her is when I picked her and her girlfriend up, and the girl was really drunk. Not the girlfriend. Matter of fact, the girlfriend works, I don't know if it's actually for the school district, but it's some type of security position. And yeah, she was always fun. She would always have some guy's account and then tipped me like 20, 30 bucks. One time when she lived in Portland, and that's when I was working out of Portland, I went to her house to pick her up, and she came out and said, I'm not even going to get in the car, but what I would like you to do is, there you go, guys. Got some flags going today. Give you an idea of the wind speed. Pick up my grandfather. And so I went up to Annaville, which is the northernmost part of Corpus Christi, I guess. Not the northern, I guess it would be the westmost part of Corpus Christi. And I drove up there and got him, and he was all impressed. And he took 20 minutes to go from the second floor to get in the truck. Really nice guy. Had good stories. And I drove him to Portland, to the track in Portland to watch his grandson's game. And it was like a whole family was there. So they all came out to the car and got Grandpa. And then she called me later in the night to do the same thing. Pick him up, drop him off, drive all the way back, and that would be the ride, as if she was in the car. And that was neat. So other than that one time she was drunk, and she wasn't out of hand or anything. She just, I don't deal well with drunks, which is another reason I don't miss doing Uber and Lyft. So what do we got left? We got the super professional lady. And I picked her up a couple times. She lived in Corpus. And I drove her out to Beeville. And she told me, she's like, I like you, you're professional, your truck is clean. I'm a prostitute. I would like to start paying you cash to drive me around. And I said, is it mostly nights? And she said, yeah. And I said, I just don't see well at night, you know? And I would have with her if it was more daytime stuff. But I gave her my number as a backup, and I did drive her around several times, and she would give me, I don't know, $100 for a ride that Uber or Lyft would have paid me $40 for. And I would drive her there and wait for her and drive her back, and she kind of liked the fact that there was a little bit of security involved, you know. The dude knew there was a big guy out in the truck. So the first time I met her, she was going to Beeville, and she said, do you know where this? And I said, yeah. And then once she told me she was a prostitute, I said, I've actually driven other prostitutes out there before. Yeah, the guy was a regular. And he was like, I don't know, he was like an older guy, maybe in his 60s, and a decent fellow. And the three different girls I drove out there said he had a really nice dog, and he was just lonely. And it was a nice gated apartment complex. So, wow, those skies are beautiful. What kind of palm trees are those, guys? I'll figure it out. I'll Google it. And then there was a lady that I picked up at the Motel 6 in Portland, Texas. And I was driving her out to the Beeville place first time I went there. And I was just looking at this girl like, who is paying for this? You know, this was a mess. This was a mess. And obviously on drugs. As soon as she got in the car, she asked me to put on the Christian station. And I have Sirius, and there's, 2 channels with sermons and 3 channels with Christian music. So I put that on for her. And she had a small bag with her. She told me she had used meth just before I picked her up. And for someone on meth, she was pretty coherent. Usually when I come across people that just did meth, they're passed out and literally in a coma. She said, look for a place to stop where I can run in and use a bathroom. And this was outside of Beeville. There was a Dollar General. And she said, oh, the Dollar General. So she went into the Dollar General for 10 minutes. She came out with different clothes, makeup on, and a wig. And she actually looked good. Like, you didn't want to examine the packaging too much. But, yeah, she looked good. And it was on the old guy's account. And I actually remember his name. No Bills water. We're right across from the marina, guys. This is Veterans Park. But she wanted me to wait. And then she came out. And the guy was kind of with her. The guy walked her to a gate. He was like a gentleman. This was like a date for him. And she said, I'm going to stay overnight here, but thank you. And she gave me $50 tip that the guy had given her to give me. So I guess that's my hush money, which is why I don't use names. But I didn't have any bad experiences with prostitutes driving for Uber and Lyft. You know, there's one more I can think of, a young girl I picked up, and I guess she was on something. That was in Portland, over in the nice section of Portland too. And same thing, a guy had ordered her a ride. So I was taking her from Portland kind of down by Spawn Hospital. And when we got close, she said, this was the second time I picked her up, I'm getting a bad vibe. I don't want to go to this place. And I said, I just pulled over and said, what do you want to do? And she said, can you take me here? And I said, well, now someone else was paying for it, had already entered the address. And I said, I don't know. Let me think this out, because if I don't take you where you want to go, I'm pretty sure it's kidnapping. And if I was smart, I would end the ride here and you would get out. But I took her about 2 miles out of the way, drop her off, and ended the ride. And I actually got a call from the guy, like, hey, what's going on? You're not on the way here? And I'm like, dude, she bailed on you. So he gave me 5 stars and no tip. Sorry, buddy. I can't control your prostitutes for you. So, great Sunday talk today, guys. Prostitutes, Uber, Luciano, and boondocking. Thanks for riding along today. Oh, I guess I got to include a horrible dad joke, and it might as well be the only one I know. Prostitution related. Prostituted? Did you hear the post office came out with a stamp to commemorate prostitution in America? Yeah, it's a 55-cent stamp, but $100 if you want to lick it. Oh, that's not quite a dad joke. Do not tell that to your kids. Anyway, guys, it's Sunday. Let's talk about prostitution in America. Thanks for riding along today. Thanks for watching.